there, everyone. So today we're going to make this shaker card. It's using the sweet ice cream set. Of course, when I was making this card, I was so excited. I stuck everything down and then realized I did it upside down. So it's an easy solve. So basically when I'm ready to send this out, I'm just going to cut it off right there, and then I'll just stick it onto another card base. So it's an easy fix. Okay, so this is the last project for my ice cream class, and I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like using darker colors, because I have two boys. So I have a son whose birthday is coming up in April, so I wanted to make one that was less girly colors and just use some darker colors. So let's get started. So what I did was I die cut this using the nested stitched dies. And then I embossed this using the Argyle embossing folder. So on the sample here, it's the Old World paper embossing folder. And really, you can use whatever you want and whatever you have. So I'm going to make sure that this is the right way. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. Now in your kit, you're going to have a piece that looks like this, has the little dots on it. And what I did for my sample card here is I just went and sponged some color on, and I'm looking for here's what I was looking for. So I was looking for this, and I'm not really sure what color I want to do the background. I think I'm gonna pick like a light color, maybe this soft seafoam. So I'm just gonna dab some color on, and it might get some of the blue on there, but it's not a big deal. And this is once you're done adding some color on, and you don't even have to do color if you don't want. You could just leave it white. You could add extra color if you want. Let's try adding a little bit of the, I don't know, Bermuda Bay, because we have it lying around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, what do we call this? Sorry, the word sort of escapes me right now. I've been fasting for 18 hours so far, so I can't think very straight. So I'm just going to wipe it. It makes the little white dots pop out a little more. And this is just like emboss resist technique. If you were to emboss a piece of paper and then with white powder and then add color to it and then wipe it off, that's sort of the same technique you would have. Okay. So I don't know if those colors will go, but that's okay. So then our next step is just to put our window sheet on. So this is just going to go right on top like that. So we're going to add our window sheet. like that. And then we're gonna take our shaker stuff. Actually, we're not gonna do the shaker stuff yet. Okay. We're gonna take our foam strips here and we're just gonna lay them down on our sheet here. Making sure that when we do all the corners that there's no gap whatsoever, because you don't want all your shaker stuff to fall out. So I put it right up to the edge of the next strip. It doesn't have to look pretty because nobody's gonna see this part. I'm gonna put some along the side here. So like I said, I've been fasting for 18 hours now because I have a procedure tomorrow. So I feel like a little shaky. It's never fun to fast. And it's my birthday today, so that's definitely not fun. Okay, so now we have our foam tape down. I think our edges are pretty closed. And next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put down our little shaker stuff. And again, mine are sort of more neutral, darker colors because this is gonna be for my son for his birthday. And sometimes I think less is more. There is such a thing as overdoing it. I don't know. Let's just leave it like that. So we don't want to overdo it. And now we're going to start taking off the backing that surrounds the window on our foam tape. So once we remove all the backing, we're gonna take our sponged piece and we're just gonna lay it right on top. So we're just gonna lay it right on top like that. And give it a good press. Whoops. So just give it a good press. And then I'm going to add a little bit more foam tape for the sides of my card here. Then we're going to grab our card base. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I think that looked perfect. Now we're going to take the backing off. And you're probably wondering why my house is so unusually quiet. My kids are reading right now, and my husband took the dogs out. And normally I would go with my husband, but I have no energy this morning, so no walking for me. Not sure why this isn't working. Okay, let's use some Tombow glue. And we are gonna glue our card down. It's about 1/4 of an inch around. So I usually just sort of eyeball it. Our next step is to put our ice cream cone down. And I usually try to avoid the Tombow glue on top of the window sheet because it can get a little smudgy. I'm not sure if you know what I mean about smudgy, but it could get a little messy. And then I have either this cone, or I've got this cone, I've got that one, I've got this one. So I've got lots of choices. I think this one sort of pops the most. So I'm going to put a dimensional on it to pop it up. I don't have to send this card in through the mail or anything, so I can pop it up as much as I want. So I'm going to pop that up. And then I chose this color bow since it's for a boy. And I'm just going to stick this down with a glue dot. Okay, and then now for the sentiment, I have a piece of the Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment using the Versamark. And then now we're going to emboss it with or we're going to put some white embossing powder on it. And then I'm just going to heat set this. Okay, now that we've heat embossed it, I'm just gonna trim it. And you don't have to trim it if you don't want to. You could just sort of leave it as is. I just think it looks nicer trimmed. But again, you don't need to do that. You can use, actually, if you want to use a smaller sentiment and just stamp it on a 1/2-inch strip, that works as well. You could do black ink on a white strip. Really, it's all up to you. This is just what I'm doing. So I find when I'm fussy cutting, a lot of times it's easier just to move the piece of paper instead of moving my scissors. I don't mind fussy cutting sometimes, but I'm not really a huge fan of fussy cutting, so I avoid it when I can. And then here's her happy birthday. And again, since I don't have to mail this out, I'm just gonna add some dimensionals to it. And I'm gonna pop it up. And there we go. So there's her finished card. And just showing you that you can just change the color and you have a whole different look. So thanks for joining me again. Sorry I'm a little shaky today, and have an awesome Sunday, and see you next time.